So this is a Michael Knowles video called "This Will Not Stop Until We Throw These People in Prison." Immediately, I was like, what people are we talking about here? And of course, it's exactly who you think. It's, you know, drag queens and transgender people and stuff like that. So this is just, you know, one of these examples of the right wing being allowed to peddle violent rhetoric against their political opponents. But of course, no one can do the same to them.
There's a video just went around of a guy at a New York City all ages drag show, not wearing any pants, wearing a thong, wearing stiletto heels, jiggling around, teaching a little girl, and then even a little girl who, I don't know, I'd place her age, let's say around 7 or 8, I can't really tell from the picture, and in front of kids who are much younger even than that. I have mercifully blurred out this man's nauseating derriere.
I went and looked at the man's derriere. It wasn't all that nauseating. It's pretty nice. Say what you want about these MAGA people. It's not like they would have like a bunch of like thong-clad women in front of their kids. Oh wait, oops. What's this? What's this? What's this? These people belong in fucking jail, you guys. Look at this sick display. Look at these kids. I would estimate this child here is only 5 seconds old. Just born, and already the MAGA degenerates are putting fishnet-clad booties in her poor little face, breaking her mind, you guys. Look at these poor kids being groomed because they're in the presence of a woman's butt. And what is this on this sign? Profanity? Fuck Biden? Fuck Biden? Is that really appropriate language for these little ones to be hearing? Like, give me a fucking break. If you had no double standards, you have no standards at all, huh?
Doesn't know that the little kids are watching. He's doing it for the kids. They're in the front row. And he's looking at the girl who's dancing around with him and teaching her how to twerk. And so now we're all going to be outraged.
Oh my God, dancing! They're dancing! Ah! What is this? We're living in fucking Footloose now? Can't fucking dance no more? I mean, clearly, you guys don't give a fuck about butts being exposed. Thong-clad butts. Totally fine. Family-friendly event. Fuck Biden. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. I mean, if you need more examples, how about this? I mean, we are like an inch away from that girl's pussy right now. This is a fucking Dallas Cowboys cheerleader doing a routine in front of a giant crowd. Throngs of thousands of fucking people, including a bunch of little ass goddamn kids wearing way the fuck less than that drag queen was a second ago. And we are inches away from seeing her goddamn cunny right there. Boom. But that's okay. And this is okay. Hooters has a kids menu. Remember the Hooters kids menu? Right there. Right there, folks. Right there for your fucking enjoyment. This is okay. This is okay. This is okay. But this, oh my God, it's a national tragedy. Holy shit. Oh my God, it's a national fucking tragedy. They act like what they're fucking scandalized by is that there's like some sort of sexual display going on in front of these damn kids. But clearly that's not it. Because if they had an objection to that, then this wouldn't be okay, and this wouldn't be okay, and this wouldn't be okay. And to be fair, some right-wingers hate all that shit across the goddamn spectrum. But this fucking guy right here, he's upset because it's a man dressed as a woman. That's it. He's upset because it's a man dressed up in woman's clothing, like a woman. That's what a drag queen is. Not even a trans person, not even a person who identifies as a woman, but a person who probably identifies as a man, but just likes to play dress up. And the fact that that is being displayed in society in a way that, you know, is acceptable to him, or is not acceptable to him, the fact that that's being put on display and people are not like revolted and shocked, the fact that like these people aren't scandalized by this, the fact that these people think that this is just as acceptable as this, that makes him mad. And you know, it's not like it just makes him mad. It makes him go to the level of like, this person needs to go to jail. These people need to be put in prison. That's the premise of this video. This will not stop until we throw these people in prison. But why?
Look, I'm guilty of it too. We all do it. We look at this bizarre behavior.
Yeah, what's all this lotion on your desk, by the way? Why you got all this lotion over here while you're talking about this, huh? Not to mention, what about this dance is sexual? I mean, I think just the fact that the outfit is skimpy, you know, which, like, I guess if you're putting on a show that's, like, explicitly supposed to be an all-ages show, you might want to be a little bit more cognizant of that. But, like, honestly, being more cognizant than this, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're right fucking there.
We can be repulsed by this. We can be nauseated by this. We should not be shocked by this. We should not be surprised. This is what has been happening for years. This is not going to stop until we...
But like, explain why it needs to stop. Explain why that, of all things, is what desperately needs stopping. You know? Like, how come this fucking panty hamster right here? How come the panty hamster of this Dallas Cowboys cheerleader can be put on fucking like display, but a fucking drag queen dancing with some butt hanging out is like, oh my God, it's a national tragedy. We have to do something about this right now.
Force laws that are already on the books against this kind of stuff, public indecency laws, obscenity laws, and it's not going to stop until we throw these people in prison. Yeah, we can publicize it. We can talk. All I've got right here is a microphone and a camera, so we can talk about it. We can expose it. A lot of people aren't totally aware that this is happening, and they don't even, when they hear about it, they don't even believe, wait, this guy's doing what in front of kids? What? No, there's no way. I can't believe it. And then you see it. So it helps you realize the problem is real.
And, you know, this girl right here, look at her. She's got a fucking beaver out. She's putting her honey pot on display for all the little ones out there in America. When is it going to stop, people? When are we going to put this woman away?
And a lot of conservatives, they say, well, I don't want to do that. That's the big government. That's the naughty, evil big government. I've been told that we can never use the government to do anything.
Yeah, man, you know, but sometimes you got to use that government. Like, for instance, when you got these fucking meat curtains hanging out on display, you know, when you got this fur burger on the menu, you can't have that. Not with them little whippersnappers running around. You got to do something. You got to put a stop to it. You got to put this fucking woman in jail.
That would make us no different from the liberals. You see, if I arrest child predators who prance around half naked in front of 5-year-olds, that
child predators, eh? It's crazy how brazen child predators have gotten, you know? Because it seems like there's like a bunch of adults there right now that have brought their own kids here and have like decided like, yes, this is appropriate for my kids, in the same way that plenty of people have decided that this is appropriate for their kids, and this is appropriate for their kids, and this is appropriate for their kids. It seems like a bunch of adults decided, hey, this is fine for my kids. I don't care. You know, it seems like that's not really predation at that point. That's just people making a decision about what kind of content their kids are allowed to consume. I think back to my childhood growing up in Louisiana and going to Mardi Gras parades, and even the quote-unquote family-friendly Mardi Gras parades still had a lot of sexuality in them. You know, so I saw very skimpily clad women. Occasionally, I would see a woman expose her tits. You know, I mean, even in those family-friendly parades, there is still a little bit of that atmosphere of like, you know, show me your tits and I'll throw you something. And, you know, even if there's not that, there's a lot of women that are very scantily clad, both on the floats and off of them. And there's a lot of like girls marching bands and shit that wear very little fucking clothing, including like high schoolers, which is kind of weird, but that's a fucking thing. And that's okay. That's family friendly. That's acceptable. There's no talk of like, you brought your kids to a Mardi Gras parade. Well, that woman with her butt hanging out on the float, doing dancing on top of the float, she's now a child predator, because we've decided that anybody who is a performer who's not wearing sufficient clothing that happens to be performing somewhere where there's kids is now automatically a predator. Like, there's no consistency to the logic of these fucking people. And it really just boils down to, we don't like drag queens and we don't like trans people. So quit acting like this has anything to do with what is or isn't appropriate for kids, or quit acting like it has anything to do with any sort of predation, because it doesn't. The only thing it's tethered to, the only thing that it really gives a shit about one way or the other, flaunting their bigotry and finding reasons to justify it. And this is the easiest path towards justifying it in their eyes. And so they're gonna seize upon it, even though it makes no sense and has no logical consistency whatsoever.
You are all doing what you can do. You are showing up to school boards, you're showing up to your local government, you're writing your congressman, you're yelling at them, you're sometimes throwing the bums out. The Republicans have to do their job. Enforce the law in the cases where laws have been repealed, put new laws on the books.
What fucking law is on the books that would prevent this from happening? There's no law. Because any law that prevented that would also prevent this and this and this once again. So there's no fucking law. Shut up.
Throw these people in prison. Wield your power. Pull an Elon. Sell all the liberals' toys. Okay.
You're now being thrown in prison for dancing. How do you plead? We're just kidding. There's no pleas anymore. You just go to jail.
Get rid of all the liberals' toys. The drag queens and the stilettos and the weird luggage and the Sam Brinton accessories, and get rid of it. Make an example. Assert some freaking strength and fortitude and political dominance on the occasions you get it. Or, when this continues to happen, you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Paul.
Okay. I'm fine with that, I guess.
Joe Biden just signed this bill into law to abolish marriage. And
oh, yeah? He did, huh? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't hear about that. You'd think someone would have covered that. The marriage abolition law, you guys. Marriage is now illegal. I don't know if you guys heard about that. You figure it would have been, somewhat more prominently featured on the news, but apparently not.
What are they calling it? The Respect for Marriage Act. But all it really does is define marriage out of existence.
Wow, yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, he's basically saying, like, now that if gay people can get married, then marriage is meaningless, which is a pretty shitty thing to say, especially if this dude is married. Like, is he really going to go home to his wife and be like, our marriage now means nothing? They're letting the fudge packers do it, so it's just over for us, baby. These are the same people who complain that women have smaller breasts and look real in media because that's too woke. I mean, to be fair, I complain when women have too small of breasts in media too, but at least I'm not a hypocrite.
And Joe Biden, to celebrate this wonderful event, has invited a drag queen to the White House. Drag queen Marty G. Cummings is attending the Respect for Marriage Act at the White House. And he says, to be a non-binary drag artist invited to the White House is something I never imagined would happen. Yeah, you and me both, brother. Grateful doesn't begin to express the emotions that I feel.
So, I can't believe you're so incensed that person got a fucking White House invite. Like, it's like, oh my God, Joe Biden respects this drag queen as if they're a real person or something. It sickens me to the core of my being.
The political order encourages this stuff. That's why it happens. And the only way that you're going to get rid of it is to create political conditions in which this sort of thing is unpleasant. There have always been transvestites, there have always been eunuchs, there have always been people who are sexually depraved and confused. Their behavior for most of our history has been relegated to back alleys, to the shadows, to the fringes, which is where this sort of thing belongs. If, because it is a fallen world, we are never going to get rid of perverts' desire to take off half their clothing and jiggle their derriere in front of 5-year-olds. You're actually
Does anyone know where I can watch Michael Knowles' video against this whatever's going on here? Can where's the Michael Knowles video about how these women should be arrested? Can someone direct me to that URL, please? I mean, it seems to me like they're showing just as much ass, and these kids are flipping the bird too, so they're, you know, that's even more rude, I guess. You see two big asses there. I'm just wondering, like, where's his video about these people? Where are we going to see that? When is that coming out? Did that already come out? Can someone give me the URL for that? Can someone give me the URL for that video? Because I don't think I have that one.
The only thing you can do is relegate that to the shadows, create the political conditions in which that sort of thing is considered very, very shameful and not elevated to the status of a White House presidential signing. The rest of the show continues now. You do not want to miss it if you're not a member.
The rest of the show sucks balls, just like this 5-minute clip sucks balls.